Hello everyone, this is Jim again, that doll guy, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to do a vintage Barbie ponytail top knot reset. But I thought we would start by looking at some of these other vintage gals, other top knots I have done, and I want to just start off with my disclaimer that I am not a professional. I just experiment and hope that whatever I do works. You know what they say, throw everything at the wall and whatever sticks. So that's what I do when it comes to restorations or things like that with vintage dolls. Also, I am not fancy. I'm not a great videographer. I'm none of those things. I just like dolls, and I like to do my best to get fixer-uppers looking as close to original as possible with various I don't know, limitations to success or whatever. Anyway, so let's start with my very first vintage ponytail that I've ever received. Bought, I should say. This is a blonde number 4, and when I got her, she had, what'd she have? She had green ear, she had messy hair, she had the tanned legs that number 4s get, but this is one ponytail top knot that I've reset. She had pretty messed up hair, wasn't in the original set at all. It was kind of shaggy and raggedy and all that. So I reset her. This is actually the second one I've done. So this is what we're going to try to pull off today with one of my other vintage dolls. This one is a matte number 5/number 6. She's another one that I kind of fixed up here with the top, reset the top knot. So again, that's what we're going to try to pull off today, is how to do this for people who just want to try to do their own restorations at home. And then we have my brunette number 4. And those number 4s really had a lot of luxurious hair. They had a lot of hair to work with. It was long. So you'll see that my gals here have the multi-curl, bottom, I guess. I don't know. But this gal, I think I tried to do her as a, what do you call it? A tight curl. I can't remember. A hard curl. That's what it was. I tried to do her as a hard curl, and it kind of came out as a multi-curl as I did it. So, you know what? It's going to do what it's going to do. And we're not looking for perfection. It would be nice. We're just kind of looking to make any of our dolls look better than they did. So we have the number 4, the matte number 5/6, brunette number 4, and I'll introduce you to the gal who we're going to be working on today. And that is a pink-lipped, watermelon-lipped number 6, who I love. I've set her hair before, but she just was ready for a redo. And I had her kind of had her ready to do one in a minute. But, so she's been in this kind of condition for a while. This was just a perfect reason to pull her out and finish the job. So we're going to try to give her that top knot. I'm going to show you what I do, and then we're going to try to give her a curl on the end as well. So we're going to talk about her in the next section of the video, but this is the gal. She's really cute. I really love those number 6s, especially with like the pink lip. They're kind of hard to find, but I just think they have the more crude facial screenings, but I really think that they're just really super cute. Not as detailed in face screening as these previous gals. The number 6, the gal is sloppy, but there's just something about her that's adorable. So we're going to be working on her later, and I'm going to try to take you, as the best I can, on a step-by-step process to where we got to this point and where we're going to go next. So we'll see you in the next installment. So we're back for the second installment of this video, even though I will be editing them all together as one, so it's going to be a little choppy because, again, I'm not a professional videographer. Not professional at much. But anyway, so let's talk about what we did to get this gal ready. So I like to wash their hair to get them ready. Oh, if you hear my new baby Maisie barking, it's because I adopted a new Chihuahua, and she's barking in the window behind me. But anyway, so and again, you know, I just have to say that I'm doing this with a handheld iPhone, so don't expect a lot, people. I'm just going to tell you, I keep it real. And I'm not fancy. So let's talk about this gal first. So I like to get her ready with, I like to wash her hair, which is a very basic shampoo conditioner mixture, like the conditioner shampoo, conditioning shampoo, whatever it's called. I like to just use that. And while she's all soapy and sudsy, I like to take a very basic black barber's comb and just comb it through while it's soapy to get it all straight, untangled. This is the same kind of hair. The bangs are more wiry, but this is the same kind of mohair type feel texture of, all the Barbies that you'll find on these sixes as well. The only difference you're going to see is you can see Pekin, she does have a scalp, her vinyl head scalp. They did flocking from the ones all the way through the fours. Then when the fives hit, they left off the flocking, probably a little budget saver or whatever, cutting corners a little bit. They didn't do the flocking. So it makes them a little bit more challenging to get up in the top pony first, the very primary thing that you're going to do. And I did her ahead of time because it just really is such, I'm an OCD person kind of, and it just drives me crazy trying to get this centered, but we did. Just to give you a view of this, what the top of her head looks like. Even though she has no flocking, she gets pretty good coverage. She has just the band of hair around the outside of her scalp with none in the middle. So you're pulling that all up, and I pulled that all up while it's wet. But you do leave the side piece section down. So that's just the part that's just in front of her ear. That's the only section I leave down. And when you comb her out, if you comb her out and fan her hair, it's usually the longest part of her hair is this side piece, because that's what's going to make your wrap around the top knot. So you're going to just, while she's wet, whether it's no matter what number she has, no matter what number she is, and if she has flocking or not, you're going to just do her top ponytail the same. Put it all up in the center, but you're going to leave the longest section it out, and keep it separate. Now, with this scalp that's just vinyl without the flocking, you're going to have some slide and a little bit of loosey-goosey give here and there, but you just play with it till you get it centered and tight. I like to use ortho bands. I don't like to use, the elastic hair ties because they break really easy. The ortho bands that you can order from anywhere on eBay, they don't disintegrate as fast. They don't get brittle as fast. They have more life to them. Once you get this doll top knotted and everything, you're not going to have to worry about it breaking. The top knot will hold it all together, which we will show when we get to that point. So ortho bands are my favorite. If you have elastics, no biggie. They're probably going to break eventually, all anyways. Doesn't matter. For people who are really into saving, if you're real anal about it, real obsessive about it, I can't believe I said anal in this video, but, whatever. Then you could use also, you could back this up with just some matching thread that matches their hair color, and just also tie it off as well to kind of keep it secured if the band breaks in the future. But like I said, you're going to have this wrapped and top knotted, hair wrapped anyway. So that's what we did to get her ready. We'll give you just the 360 view of her. Again, her hair is all pretty much one length, except for this one tendril that's right in front of the ear. And it would be the, I guess, left ear, right ear if you're looking at her, of course. And so we're going to leave that down. So the next installment of this video is going to be I'm going to use my daughter to be my videographer so I can be hands-free, so I can actually do this and show you how I do a top knot. And if we have the time, we're going to also give her curl in the back. So hopefully by the time I post this video, she'll be looking finished and complete. So we'll be doing the next installment soon, splicing it together with this one to make one probably incohesive video. Alright, so we are in the next segment of this process of doing a top knot on a vintage Barbie. And my videographer is my daughter Caitlin, so if she is as good of a videographer as I am as an editor, well then we're going to be in trouble. So what we have going on here is I have my doll on a towel. I put her on a towel because I don't want her face paint to rub on this glass table. So this just protects her and keeps her makeup looking good. So what I've done is I have re-wetted with just a little bit of water this ponytail to kind of keep all the flyaways together. I've also wetted my extra strand that will be the top knot, and I tied a piece of dental floss around the end and on I believe that's a darning needle maybe, I'm not sure which. I use dental floss because the hair won't slide out the end as we go through the process that we're going to do. So theoretically, this side piece that will be our top knot, our hair wrap, should cover that bald spot that we saw. So we're going to take the segment of hair, we're going to go up around, covering that bald spot as best we can. I combed it out with my black barber comb, and we have pretty good coverage right there. As it dries, it will probably get better coverage, but it does not have that flocking that the 1s through 4s have, so it's a little bit more of a challenge. So we're going to cross that over to her right side, left to right. We're going to wrap it around the ponytail like so. So we're covering that ortho band. So we have this cross underneath the ponytail. If you look at the side, it's covered pretty well. Then the next trick of it is to take our needle, and we're going to we could either, without the needle, we could just tie it underneath this and it would lay along the back of this ponytail and no harm, no foul. Some people like to take the darning needle and run this end through, and I see I'm kind of losing my end here. So, so much for the dental floss not slipping off as opposed to thread. Looks like I'll have to redo that. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. We might do it the old-fashioned way. Some people like to take this and run it through the middle of the ponytail to run that piece through. I am not that fancy, and this is for beginners anyway. Sometimes beginners do not want to be that daring. So we're just going to re-wet this tip and get it as sharp as we can so we can kind of end up tying it. So we're going to loosen this a little bit. And I have these big fat fingers, Caitlin knows. We're going to flip that end underneath and bring it through. So we have this tie in the bottom. And then you tighten it through as best you can. Okay, so that's, and you want your tie to be underneath on the bottom. You can see where the more expert Barbie restoring people, why they go through the middle, because it just gives it like probably a cleaner look on the bottom. But we're going to, again, this will dry and hopefully cover that spot a little bit. Then we can take our side piece and kind of blend it into the rest of the ponytail. I see I got a little bit of the end in there. Remember how I said in the previous segment the longer pieces are your wrap. So that is our top knot. Looks pretty good. This could use a little bit of work, but we're going to see as it dries, it should cover that a little bit better. We can also probably, once it's dry, use some finishing spray and maybe manipulate it a little bit. But that's our top knot. View from the top. If my hands are a little bit grimy, I was working in the garden all day with my chihuahua. So that is the top knot. Well, I think it looks pretty good. I like how it's a little bit higher up. It looks a little bit more 60s and more fun. And then what we're going to do next is, in the next segment, we're going to try to do a hard curl that will turn into a multi-curl when it's done. So we're going to let her dry a little bit and see how this kind of looks. And then I will show you how we're going to curl this and do a multi-curl or a hard curl. So thank you for tuning into this segment, and we will be back in the next segment with the hard curl. Alright, so we're back for the next segment of this video, and that is how to do either a hard curl or a multi-curl. Every time I try to do a hard curl, it turns into a multi-curl once I put the ortho band on the bottom and roll it down. So what I did is I've re-wet my ponytail, and I use just a basic bobby pin. I don't use straws for this process or anything like that, because I want to try and make this as tight as possible. Other people may do it different, but I just kind of put the whole ponytail in there and run it down as far as I can to the end. Oops. Blooper. Again, my daughter is my videographer, so I appreciate her doing this for me. I am not that proficient with... Oh, God, here we go again. We're going to have one of those things where... And I'm not going to edit this out because I'm not that good of an editor. Alright, third time's the charm, right? So let's try to get this down there. Okay, we might just call that good enough. And I'm just going to roll this up. Just going to roll it up. There's our end for our, of that piece that we had tied under for the top knots a little bit. There. And then we're just going to take another bobby pin, and we're just going to secure it like that. Okay, then... we have our cup of boiled water, and we're going to I've let it cool for just a second. We're going to give her just a 30-second dip in here, and maybe not even 30 seconds. It don't take that long to get hot, but we're going to set that curl with that boiled water. I did let it cool for, a couple minutes so it's not off the stove boiled hot. Her hair can take a lot, but, Alright, so that's soaked enough. Then we're going to let her drip dry. Uh-oh. This little piece, I don't know if that's going to make it, but we're going to try to mold it around there. And just keep our fingers crossed. So she is going to hang out here tonight. It's going to air dry. Then tomorrow, which will be today when you watch this, I guess, we're going to put an ortho band on it and run it down and see what it looks like. So you're going to see the end result, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed because, in Barbie restoration land, anything can happen. So we're going to let her chill and relax. Hopefully her hair will do its thing, and we will see her tomorrow and keep our fingers crossed. All right, so we are in the very last phase of finishing this ponytail top knot reset. We've dried overnight, and as I said, the hair dried nicely, so you don't see the scalp showing through like when it's wet. So this is always the nerve-wracking part, trying to see if we have success. So what I use to band my lower part of the ponytail where the bottom curl is are any kind of 3/16" 4.8 millimeter heavy non-elastics. So that's what I use. Any brand will do, doesn't matter, they all come from the same place. So we're going to pop out our hairpin. I'm going to try to make it open so it doesn't catch anything. And the same with this, I try to put my fingers kind of in there so we don't pull anything out of whack with any kind of loose hairs. So we're pulling that out. Okay, then we have our curl here. We're going to take our elastic and we're going to open it up and put it near the top. Try to bunch all this up, get inside there, and get it towards the top of the ponytail. Thank you, my daughter, for being my camera person again. And then we're going to roll this down and hope for the best. Roll it down. Still going to have that section. That's a little piece, I'm going to have to fix that later. Still going to have that section of our wrap that we kind of hid in there. And then we're going to bunch that up. Maybe take it down more. We're going to bunch this up to make our little curl at the bottom. And that, she had a little bit of a shag on the bottom. You know, let's just get rid of this now. That's bugging me. We're going to just do a little snippety snip on it. I'm trying not to make too even of a cut because you know how that always looks. Her ends are a little bit shaggy. Again, this is just for beginners anyway. And the beauty of it is we can always try again if we don't like it. So, her ends, my daughter suggested me cutting them and I didn't. Maybe I should have. But anyway, so that is our bottom curls. I've had better success before, but you know, you get the gist. So, we can always, I have some very fine finishing spray. So if you want to, you can always do like a light little set. If you're getting this on her face or body, you can just use either a cotton swab that is, let me smooth that out. Kind of smooth this out. Kind of make it a little bit more sleek looking. If you get some spray on her body, you can always clean off with a cotton ball. Either alcohol for the body or warm water. Same thing with her face with a Q-tip. So then you just kind of finger set her with the finishing spray. Give her like a nice little finish. So that's our gal done. Like I said, she had like a bit of this little shag on the end, which gives her not a super polished look. But like I said in the beginning of the video, anything that kind of makes them look better than what they were will do. We're also going to, just another little free tip is, make some green ear safe pearl earrings using wedding pearl spray from any dollar store. So you can just buy the stuff. You can see I've kind of gotten some mileage out of mine. You just kind of get it and cut it at a little bit of a angle. This gal was straight for green ears, so she has a little bit of a shadow. You stick that into her ear hole. Oh, we have a puppy crying. Must be yours, Katie. We put her ears have not seen earrings for a minute, so there we go. And then the other one. I like to trim as much of the previous stalk off these as I can, kind of give them a little bit more of a natural earring look. And we'll pop it on this one. There we go. And she is done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial for beginners. Vintage Barbie top knots for beginners, I guess you could call it. Again, I'm not an expert. I just do my best of things. Some of my results are better than others, but you know what they say, if you don't succeed, try again. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day.